So that's a few new things that you've shown me with views so far in version 7.1. If I recall correctly, there was also something about storing views to a database. Did I understand that right?
Yeah, this is a really quite cool feature. Let me show you this in combination with Excel and web.
Okay.
So let's start in Excel. I have my prepared view here already. So just started commonly, Excel open, I paste the view, and now let's say I'm happy with this view. And back in the days, it was easy to save this as an Excel file. But sometimes maybe you don't want to have it, or you don't want to open each time an Excel file. So to get to this view back, so what you can do now is you edit the view. And we have a new button here, Save As.
Okay.
So we're going to save actually this particular setting of the view into the database, and we call it, these are my products, for example, and we save it. So what happens is that you see now stored views. There's a private view for my account, for my login. So I'm logged on as admin user. So I have this view saved now in the database. When I cancel this now, for example, and I create just a new empty spreadsheet, I go to JDocs, open view. You see, this is the default setting here. Now I can hit my product, and there it is. Right, so the previous saved view now is taken. The settings are taken, so I don't have to do it again and again. And actually, I save a file to be saved somewhere on my local machine. This is now the private view for my user account. So I would like to show you now what happens if I'm logged on as a different user. So you see here we are connected with localhost. So this is the admin user, and I have another connection here, John. When I go for John and select in the connection John the Acme Data online database and select the same cube, sales data, you see I have no access to, because John has not saved any private view, and the private view I have stored and saved before is for the admin account.
Okay, so when it's private, it's really only for my user, myself.
Exactly.
Other people wouldn't have access.
Correct.
Okay.
So I want to go back to my admin account. So let's cancel here. Start from again. We go to admin, Acme Data Online. I have because I'm logged on with admin now. I select my products. You see the selection is there. I can now take the same setting, save it again as something else, and this is important, as a global view. So let's not call it my products now. Let's call it it's all products, for example, and save this. And now it's a global view saved in the database. And when I'm going now to log on with John, Acme Data Online, you see there it is. Yeah, so I can actually decide, is it only for me, or is it for the group of people who have access to the database? And so I can share a good view also across the database. I don't have to share it like in the previous version with an Excel file.
And so we've been in Excel so far, but you also mentioned web, right?
Exactly. So we have it saved globally now. So let's go to JDocs Web, and I take my John for the log on. And here I have prepared a small report. It's just a report where I have actually just a paste view stored. When I use the saved paste view in my report designer, I have more or less an ad hoc browsing capabilities here. The paste view is defined to look at Acme Data Online with edit view. With cube sales data. So we go here and select edit view now, and you see currently I have channel and version selected in my column. So this is the version of the paste view that the report designer have saved and stored. And this is kind of predefined setup for this view for my end user. So as before, I can change it now. I can browse data. But with the 7.1, I have also access to my global views. And there is the global view all products. As you see, this is what I stored and saved with the admin user. Now I have product and measures here. So it's rearranged based on my settings. And there we are. So I can access also the stored views from my report environment.
All right, great new feature.
We can even do more. So as before, you can edit the view. You can change back and forth for browsing. Everything is fine. If you close the view and reopen it, it will be initialized as the designer have stored and saved it in the report. So this is not. So you're not really changing the original report file. Still, you can always go again back to your global views and can hook into or can select one of the saved one. So one benefit you have now is you can store different presets of or different sets of views directly in the database, and you save actually a lot of predefined paste view report files. So you create only one report file on a specific database and a specific cube, and everything else you store as a global view. So you have always one report file, multiple views, and then the people can access the multiple views and can browse the cube. So you save a lot of work on the report designing side. And additionally, and this is what I want to show you now, so you select private view, for example, and you make a change in the view here. So we take products, for example, here. And now, even in web, you can use save as, and you can store it as my report view. And this is for John. And additionally, when you and this is important, so private views is selected. When you select global views, you can also save this as John's view, for example. Yeah, and then it will be saved as a global view. So even here, if you have the permissions, people can either access existing global views, but they can also store additional different views they made in the database and can access them also later.
Okay, and for me, the big thing I need to keep in mind here with web is, depending on where I want to store my view, I need to have that corresponding bit open.
Exactly.
So with the private view, I need to have private view expanded, or here with global views, then global view.
Yeah.
Okay.